Okay, so Derrick Lewis just KO'd Talson Teixeira in spectacular fashion at UFC Fight Night, Nashville, Tennessee. What an amazing way to cap off this event. The prelims were amazing. The main card was okay. Derrick Lewis ends it with a monumental finish over Talson Teixeira. A little bit underwhelming, a little bit anticlimactic. I will say the finish was a little bit short. But given the context, I would say that it was the correct stoppage and that it wasn't early, given the context of the stoppage. So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to get up into what I think Derrick Lewis has the potential to do with his career going forward. And I'm just talking about the main event in this video, and I'll do a recap on the rest of the card in a later video. So, Derrick Lewis in the first round knocks out Talson Teixeira after throwing some punches with no technique whatsoever. Catches Talson Teixeira on the chin and shins him. Drops him bad. His eyes go in the back of the head. He falls over. Derrick Lewis jumps on top. Ground and pound. Weird positioning where he's like off to the side with his leg. Terrible ground and pound positioning. Talson Teixeira tries to get it up to his feet. To be honest, he is lucid, but he uses the cage to get up to his feet. He grabs the cage, pulls himself up, and then grabs the cage again and pulls himself up to his feet, turns around, and the ref stops it. I think this is okay. I think the stoppage was early, but Talson Teixeira does not get up if he doesn't grab the cage there. I don't believe he does. I would have liked to see Talson get completely flatline KO'd. That would have been way better for me, but that's not what happened, and I'm not mad at Jason Herzog for stopping that when he did. Talson Teixeira did a completely legal move while being finished. You end the fight there. I do think that's the case. You don't take a point because if Talson Teixeira does come back and knock out Derrick Lewis, it's completely unfair. I think this is okay. It's anticlimactic, but at the same time, I don't really give a fuck. I think Derrick Lewis on a win is better for the UFC in general. Talson Teixeira maybe is better because he's an actual prospect at heavyweight, and we don't have any of those right now. We don't have any fun prospects at heavyweight whatsoever for Tom Aspinall to fight at all. But I'm going to argue in this video that Derrick Lewis is a fun prospect to fight Tom Aspinall going forward. If you take out the fact that Derrick Lewis's form looked like complete shit out there in the first, or for the entirety of this fight, it always kind of does. Derrick Lewis doesn't have great form. What he does have is insane knockout power and wins over some incredible fighters in the heavyweight division. He has wins over Alexander Volkov by knockout, Curtis Blades by knockout. And he's fought the best of the best. He's fought Cyril Gane and lost, sadly. He's right there. If he gets a couple more wins, we could have a super funny fight between Tom Aspinall and Derrick Lewis for the heavyweight belt. I'm going to predict a Derrick Lewis heavyweight run. Do not give him any grapplers. Do not give him any dumbass Jelton Almeida rematches or anything. Also, he survived Jelton Almeida's entire onslaught for 5 rounds. That's very impressive. Derrick Lewis is no slouch as a martial artist in any department, really. He had his bad showing against Spivak where he got destroyed instantly, which is stupid. He got elbow KO'd by Tuivasa, which in hindsight is so bad. But Derrick Lewis has the most knockouts in UFC history. He just starked out this prospect in one shot. I see Derrick Lewis's future being bright as he goes forward. He is a huge personality. That is what he is. He's an insanely fun, hyped up, exciting personality. He's funny as fuck. His post-fight interview, he took his shorts off once again. He mooned the crowd once again. His usual antics they're a blast. They're super exciting to watch. They're super funny. Derrick Lewis is one of my favorite fighters. He's probably my favorite heavyweight of all time. And arguably in the top discussion of heavyweights of all time. I would honestly say his wins are better than 90% of heavyweight wins at this point. To be honest, which is kind of stupid, but it's true. Derrick Lewis has really good wins within the UFC and losses that aren't that bad. Spivak's is bad, and he has some more that are bad. But shit, Derrick Lewis is old. We all know he's old, but at heavyweight, you're allowed to be a little bit old. Andrei Arlovski took a long time before he started getting really bad. Never mind. He was always bad. But he could still hang in there with some bullshit, terrible heavyweights. Derrick Lewis, we know now, keeps his power even as he ages. All I'm saying is that Derrick Lewis, off of 2 more wins, gets a title shot. And I think it's fun. I think it's funny. I want him to be in the title fight picture once again because it actually gives a little bit of hype and light to the heavyweight division. Towson Teixeira has lost. There's no prospects at heavyweight. They don't exist. It's not going to happen. There's none. There's no fun. We have Kennedy Nzechukwu just got ankle picked by Walter Walker on the same card. Maybe Walter Walker could be fun at some point. But to me, Derrick Lewis is the star at heavyweight besides Aspinall. He's the one drawing. There's a reason he main evented this card. And in hindsight, Derrick Lewis main eventing cards is not a huge issue to me. I kind of like it. I think it's funny. And he gets finishes or gets finished. That's what I want in the main event. Derrick Lewis is that guy. I'm very excited to see his future, to be honest. And he doesn't have much left. So we have to fast track him to a title shot right now. We give him 2 more fights, and then we give him a title shot. That's what I would prefer. Have Aspinall fight Cyril Gane. Have Derrick Lewis rematch Curtis Blades. If he knocks him out again, it'd be amazing. And then we have him fight either a Volkov or just give him a title shot right out the gate. Derrick Lewis has not fought Aspinall yet. We don't know how this fight would go. This is one of the only heavyweight fights where we truly don't know how it would go. Derrick Lewis has terrible form, but he doesn't really need form to knock a motherfucker out. Aspinall would kill Derrick Lewis. I'm not delusional. But if anybody's going to clip him and knock Aspinall out, at this point, shit, I think it's Derrick Lewis. I think that's amazing. I want that to happen. Very bad. Also, Derrick Lewis in his post-fight interview said some shit about his next opponent, but he didn't call out anybody. Instead, he said that he just wants to ground and pound his wife, which is just fueling the flame of why I want him in a title fight position. It's way more fun. The heavyweight division isn't as cooked as we thought. We have Derrick Lewis off of a win. I'm very excited. I'm trying to be optimistic if you couldn't tell. But overall, there's not much to talk about this fight. Derrick Lewis chinned him. And it was early, but Towson cheated. Towson Teixeira, in hindsight, it's why I picked Derrick Lewis. I picked Derrick Lewis to win because Towson Teixeira does not have a win in the UFC that's good. He beat Justin Tafa, who isn't good. And we're putting him against the number 1 finisher in the UFC, who's fought a ton of good guys. I picked Derrick to win, and I'm very glad he won. Towson Teixeira has to go back to the drawing board. To be honest, I think Towson Teixeira has a good shot against a lot of heavyweights. But this is a fraud check that is obvious, and Towson Teixeira never should have gotten a main event. He never should have gotten one. He never should have gotten this far up the rankings after one fight. It doesn't make sense. They're trying to fast track a prospect, but now you have to stop. Now you have to fast track some fun entertainment up the rankings, and that is Derrick Lewis. You bring him up the rankings as fast as possible. At least that's what I would do. And then Walter Walker, you give him a contender now. You shoot him up the rankings as well, because Walker might also be the personality to bring life to the heavyweight division. And he also super sucks, but it's cannon fodder at the end of the day for Aspinall's legacy, and that's fine too. We just need new legacy. We can't have Aspinall refighting Volkov. We can't have rematches. They're boring. Derrick Lewis, Walter Walker, fast track them up to the heavyweight top of the heavyweight division, and then we can talk. So, those are my thoughts about this fight. The fight was nothing to break down whatsoever, but the future looks bright. I'm being optimistic, and Derrick Lewis holds it down. He holds the fucking heavyweight division down, and I love him. So yeah, I will see you soon.